Welcome back to the Watchman. We're going to be looking at a devotional entitled From Mount Sinai to Mount Zion. It can be found in Hebrews chapter 12, verses 18 to 24. And if any of you know me, Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 to 3 are my life verses. So I love the whole chapter 12, actually. So I'm excited to bring this section to you because there's a lot of truth here. It reads, "For you have not come to a mountain that can be touched, and to be a blazing fire, and to darkness and gloom and whirlwind, and to the blast of a trumpet and the sound of words, which sound was such that those who heard begged that no further word be spoken to them. For they could not bear the command, if even a beast touches the mountain, it will be stoned. And so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I am full of fear and trembling. But you have come to Mount Zion, and to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to the myriads of angels, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn who are enrolled in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of the righteous made perfect, and to Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, and to the sprinkled blood, which speaks better than the blood of Abel." A lot here to unpack, so let me begin. Every believer lives between two mountains. One is Mount Sinai, where God's law thundered with fire and fear. The other is Mount Zion, where Christ's blood speaks peace, forgiveness, and eternal welcome. The writer of Hebrews sets these side by side here to show the wonder of what we have in Christ compared to the terror of standing under the law alone. The contrast here, law at Sinai, verses 18 to 21 cover this. You have come to a mountain that you have not come to a mountain that can be touched. The Greek word means tangible, able to be felt or touched, to physically be there. Sinai was physical, but it was untouchable because of God's holiness. His presence was there. It was too holy, could not be touched. Sinai was filled with darkness, gloom, tempest, and trumpet blast. This is the law's nature, majestic, holy, but terrifying because it reveals our sin. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Even Moses said in verse 21, I am trembling with fear. The Greek here, it means terrified, struck with dread. Even God's chosen mediator felt unworthy in the presence of a holy God. At Sinai, the law demanded obedience and holiness, but offered no power to keep it, only judgment for breaking it. The comparison found in verses 22 to 24, grace at Zion. But you have come to Mount Zion. Here, it means you have drawn near, means a close, personal, intimate, almost like the idea of a shadow. You have approached and you have arrived. Unlike Sinai, Zion is not a mountain of fear, but a place of joyful approach through Christ. Zion is described as the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem in verse 22. It's our eternal home. Moving on, innumerable angels in festal gathering, a word picture here of celebration, not dread. The translation I read, to myriads of angels. This is just so many angels, you cannot count them. Right? And then we have in verse 23, the assembly, general assembly and church of the firstborn who are enrolled in heaven. This is the redeemed, the ones that have their name written in the book of life. Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, verse 24, to the sprinkled blood. This is amazing right here because this is the ultimate covenant from God's covenant in the Old Testament all the way up through. Jesus fulfilled them, and here we have it. He's the mediator of this new covenant, the New Testament. And it basically means a go-between, a reconciler, a mediator. Jesus stands between us and God where Moses could not. The sprinkled blood here in verse 24 speaks better than the blood of Abel. Abel's blood cried out loudly, shouted for justice in Genesis 4, verse 10. But Christ's blood speaks and continually speaks of mercy, love, grace, forgiveness, reconciliation. See, at Zion, we receive grace, welcome, and joy, secured forever in Jesus' sacrifice. The key point here, the law at Sinai showed us God's holiness and our unworthiness, leading to fear. But in Christ, we have come to Zion, where his blood speaks forgiveness and gives us access to God with full confidence. So when guilt weighs heavy, remember, you are no longer standing at Sinai under condemnation. You are at Zion, welcomed by Christ. When fear rises in your Christian walk, listen, not to the thunder of Sinai, but to the better word of Christ's blood that speaks peace and forgiveness. Let gratitude move you to worship. You belong to the heavenly city already by grace. And Hebrews 12:28, just finishing with this, therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful and so worship God acceptably with reverence and awe. This is taking you from the law on Mount Sinai to the grace that Christ finished and provides through us through his blood on Mount Zion. So again, I hope you are encouraged through the teaching of his word, the contrast of Sinai and Zion. So until next time, take care, God bless, and be strong.